Well, yeah, this is Damion Crawford, and as you know, I'm a supporter of the People's National Party. It's election time, and no matter how you feel about it, it's really a choice between two different options, the PNP and the JLP. I have actually internalized both sides, and still I'm convinced that the PNP is a better option. So let's just look at one of the promises coming from the JLP to increase the threshold for some workers, thereby giving you a higher take-home pay. Of course, that is something that everybody would want to achieve. That is something that every government would want to offer. And therefore, it is not something that I will knock on the premise of what it will carry. However, what is the feasibility of such a promise? The reality is that some workers, as is promised by the JLP, would carry home $18,000 more. Look at it as a carrot and a stick, because the government needs income. And if the government needs income, if you are going to reduce taxation, you must be planning to do one of two things. Either to replace that income by another form of taxation, or to reduce the level of work that you are doing. Looking at the JLP manifesto, it doesn't go in sync to reduce the level of work, because you need further investments for the water promises that they've made. You need further investment for the infrastructure development. You need further investments for the level of persons they will pay to form some of these different ministries that they have promised. And so therefore, the only other alternative is to find other levels of taxes. When we look at the analysis, my own personal assumption is that the only other tax is consumption tax. This has been posited by some other persons before to say reduce income tax and increase GCT. I personally have a problem with that, because there are many people who consume that do not earn. And so therefore, while you're getting a carrot, you might be getting 50 sticks. It doesn't make sense to get one carrot and 50 sticks, because if a GCT increase, a child at 12 doesn't work, but he consumes. An elderly person doesn't work, but consume. Some disabled people don't work, but consume. Indeed, some able persons don't work and still consume. And so, if it is that there's an increase in the GCT, just to supplement $18,000 take-home pay, your true spending potential will be dramatically decreased, because you have many persons depending on you who don't earn an income. I therefore feel that this really is a half-truth and not the full truth. The full truth is, if they should remove some level of income tax, they would have to replace it with a certain level of consumption tax. And I think that would really be a backward step. The better method I would propose is the way the People's National Party is seeking to achieve this. And that particular way is to remove the demand for government for income by reducing the level of debt. It is said that almost 70 cents of every dollar is paid in debt. If we can dramatically reduce the debt, as we have been proving capable to do in the last 4 years, it means that the demand for income is less from government, and by extension, the ability to reduce taxes becomes greater. That is why the PNP has suggested that in time, they would be reducing the income taxes and not immediately, as is suggested. We feel that for the economy to grow, government spending should remain on infrastructure and other activities. But we have been taking steps and should continue to take steps to reduce the level of debt that the country is in, so that the government can then reduce the level of taxes demanded from the people. I think that what we have been doing as a party has been functioning, but it's not as leaf go river bottom, it run. It's not as dumpling going to pot it boil. There's always going to be a process to know if you are at the right place, but it takes no process to know if you're going in the right direction. I don't think that every independent person who have said that the country is doing well has any reason to hate the JLP. I don't think President Obama have reason to hate the JLP. I don't think that the United States media have reason to hate the JLP. I don't think that some persons in the private sector have reason to hate the JLP. So while the PNP would have to say we're doing well, just look at all the third-party persons who are investing in the country, agreeing that we're doing well, risking their own money to invest in Jamaica. And so, at the end of the day, I am not against a reduction in income tax. I myself rule the amount of taxes that I pay. However, it makes no sense to be penny wise and 20 pounds foolish. Respect, Jamaica.